Sorry for the interruption, but we've got to say thank you to our sponsor, Daily Harvest. Now, you guys may have seen me do a lot of cooking on my vlogs and know that I really do love making food for myself and trying out new recipes. But at the same time, I feel like I'm busier than ever. I'm constantly running around to different shoots like radio or recording more Get Real episodes for you guys. I mean, good problems. So if you're like me and want to make sure you have something to eat on the go without too much time spent on prepping it, Daily Harvest may be the lifestyle change for you. Daily Harvest delivers delicious food, all built on organic fruits, vegetables, right to your door. It takes minutes to prepare and you'll feel rest assured that the food is good for the body. Daily Harvest is ready when you are. Everything stays fresh in your freezer until you're ready to enjoy it, so you waste less food too. And there's no need to overthink any of your meals for the week with Daily Harvest. There's tons of options like smoothies for breakfast, flatbreads for lunch or dinner, and even food that matches the weather. Like if it's too cold outside, you can have your choice of warm soups. Daily Harvest never uses preservatives, added sugar, or anything artificial. Even their recently launched almond milk, which is made of only almonds and a dash of sea salt, that's it. This is super convenient if you need to be always stocked up on food and too busy for that grocery store trip. Daily Harvest is also committed to minimizing their environmental impact during the process of transitioning to 100% compostable, recyclable, plant-based, and renewable fiber packaging. Daily Harvest is undeniably delicious, clean food without the prep. Get started today. Go to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code GETREAL to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code GETREAL for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. dailyharvest.com.
Hello guys, this is producer Diane. I just want to give you guys a quick disclaimer that today's topic is about manners and it's about this, social cues and stuff, and it's a lot of cultural comparisons. But we do want to put it out there that, of course, we are hyper aware that, there's such thing as neurodivergence and people who may be on the autistic spectrum or people with autism or just people, they just don't catch on to what society says is the right way to behave, right? So we're talking about more so the cultural standards that we've grown up around and we've learned and stuff. We're not saying that there's exactly a right way to be or a wrong way to be. Everyone's built differently and stuff. So maybe just take this as a moment, as a way to learn about a culture or just, think about things in your culture that we may not be aware of as well. But again, we just want to be considerate of the neurotypical community and listening and stuff. And we're always trying to educate ourselves about other communities such as that. And, if you're listening and you would consider yourself a neurotypical, like some of us, maybe look it up and find out more about, your fellow human beings and stuff. All right. So we're going to continue this episode and I hope you enjoy it. Bye.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Get Real, hosted by us, Peniel, BM, and Ashley, where we get honest about the ups and downs of young adulthood, but from our perspective. Today is when we stop being real and get polite. We're getting polite today?
Mm-hmm.
Says
Okay.
who?
We're talking about manners. Social etiquette is something that we've all had to navigate in our interactions with others, one-to-one, or even how we address people in mass. Sometimes it feels like it's too easy to slip up and offend, even when not meaning to, whether it's something in the culture or differing personalities. What does it mean to us to have manners? Wow. Interact with us on our socials at the Dive Studios or leave us a comment on our full episode videos at youtube.com/divepods. Follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts so more people can know about our fun and join in on the fun. Yeah.
You're...
Manners, huh?
Manners
like-
maketh man.
So easy, but so hard too. 'Cause
Manners?
it's always changing. Etiquette is always changing in the world.
Ugh.
Etiquette is always changing in the world.
But I feel like as
Yes, it
Koreans, we
is.
grew up with, specific like table manners.
did?
it's like instilled in us at a young age because
Yeah.
we gather around the dining table and you're like, you're not supposed to eat until the oldest one eats, and you're just patiently waiting for your grandpa or your dad to pick up the spoon first.
Hey, where are your manners? Oldest person. Come on now. Oldest one.
Oldest
Make him sound like an object.
oldest person.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember there was like a certain way to set the table too. Like I forgot it now, but like the chopsticks, the spoon, and like there was
The
like a certain
soup
order
dish,
and everything.
Yeah,
Soup
yeah, yeah.
bowl and rice
Hello.
bowl.
That's very Western, right? Like that thing, or is it Korean? It's just chopstick and spoon. I feel like.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's Korean
there's like left
etiquette,
and
though.
right. Which one goes left and right too?
Yeah. You're right. And there's
don't
also
remember.
like soup goes to the right
Mhm.
and like rice is at the left too. So that's really interesting. I guess because
I
like
don't remember.
and the spoon is next to the soup and then
Yeah.
the
Chopsticks on
next to
there.
the rice. It's crazy, man. So much to memorize. Like dang, like you're just eating
Yeah.
food.
But do you memorize it? Do you memorize it though? It's kind of like you grew up with it, so it becomes like something that's natural. you
Well, we
know?
didn't have it in our household.
Ah, really?
We didn't
I
have
don't
like
think-
table like plating setting etiquette and stuff like that.
Well, I didn't have
What?
that either. I
Yeah.
just like put it on the table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Just
Yeah.
as long as both of them were on the table.
yeah. Then you're good. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like on the floor. It's like
yeah.
yeah. That and then what are some basic like manners that we like? etiquette?
bowing.
Yeah, like bowing.
Always
Yeah.
saying 감사합니다.
Don't chew with your mouth open.
Yeah.
Mhm. 인사 제대로 하기.
Yeah, 인사 제대로 하기.
greetings.
Right.
If you're just like 안녕하세요, your mom would be like 다시 인사해.
Yeah.
안녕하세요.
Damn, you said that so mean. You're
With the
your nostrils
vibration too.
flared.
Got like a vibration and everything. Yeah.
I feel like
Respect your elders.
respect your elders is a huge one. I feel like that's very different from the States and from here.
Mhm.
Because the
And-
way you're scolded out here, if you talk to your elders in a disrespectful manners,
Mm.
it's very different.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like this is one difference between like Western culture and Korean culture though.
Yeah.
In America, when they're being scolded, they tell you to look them in the eyes.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look me in the eyes. But in Korea, it's like, hey, it's like 눈 깔아.
Yeah. Look down, little.
Yeah.
Don't you make eye contact with me? It's like,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
You're not with that. You know what? That was like one of the biggest cultural shocks for me when I first heard that. It was just like, why? Like I get it now because you could
Mhm.
say a lot with your eyes, right?
Mhm.
But usually in America, it's just like understand me, understand what I'm saying
Yeah,
with
yeah,
my
yeah.
eyes.
Mhm.
But in Korea, it's kind of like I don't like what you're saying with your eyes. Look down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
look down, little. You know what I mean?
You are below me.
Yeah.
It's like,
I used to get in trouble because when I was a trainee, they
Used to
would
look him
like
in the
say
eyes?
something to me, and I'd be like,
well, your
But it was
RBF
kinda
definitely
like-
doesn't help.
it
Yeah.
was kind of half like, I don't like what you're saying,
Yeah.
like don't scold me, and half like, okay. But I was just like, yeah, and then he was like, 왜 그렇게 쳐다봐? Why are you staring at me like that? And I
What'd
was
you
like,
say?
I'm not staring at you like anything. I was like,
Ooh, what'd they
제가-
say?
I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, but I would always like, I wouldn't back down. And
So
then,
you
like,
won. That's the point.
Well, they would punish me in other ways, and then I would have to, back down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, but after doing it for a long time, I start to understand where they're going with this because it's like there's a difference. Obviously, language is the same. It's just different sounds, right? There's
Mhm.
words for the same meaning,
Mhm.
whatever. But there's connotation. I feel like is very different. You know what I mean? So like that obviously comes with culture too.
Mhm.
So I think all that etiquette ties in with that. Like what you could say with your eyes to someone, like I gotta look at you like this, and you gotta listen to you talk and be like, I'll tell you I'm listening. But you're scolding me. I look at you like, you know what I mean? And then like it's kind of like I'm saying, I don't care. And what do you mean? Like I don't even care. You know what I mean? So it's like I think it's like that.
I didn't even know that was why they told you to look down.
I don't even think that's that's just how I'm taking it. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the real reason, but I've had times where it's just like I feel like that's the reason. Because if you don't look
Maybe,
down,
maybe.
it's like, what are you saying? What are you trying
Mhm.
to say that? You're not gonna. I'm not above you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a power trip. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought it was like an act of obedience thing. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like you're in trouble, so listen to, listen to what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
I thought it was like something like that.
True. Yeah, that makes sense. Because if you don't, you're disobeying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Disobeying.
And I feel like in Korea, well, the Korean language is hard because with the formal way of speaking, there are many levels.
Yeah.
So to someone way older
Yeah.
than you, you wouldn't be like 밥 먹었어요.
Yeah.
You would say like
진지
식사하셨어요.
드셨어요.
And then
Yeah.
to even higher up, you'd be like 진지. I don't even know if they say 진지 these days, but like 진지 드셨어요, you know,
Yeah.
to like your
There's
great
levels to it.
grandparents or something.
There's
So
levels to formality.
Yeah, dude.
yeah, so I feel like to someone who's not fluent in Korean, they might just be like, "Oh, 식사했어요?" or like
Yeah.
밥
Huh?
먹었어요?
Yeah.
Or like, 진지 먹었어요?
To someone who doesn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, but another thing is Koreans understand if you tell them you're from the States.
Yeah.
Like all of
Yeah.
my Korean people, like that I always wonder, like, am I not being respectful enough? They never like talk back in a manner where it's just like, why are you saying it like that? They're just like, 교포니까. Oh, because you're from the States.
We kind of get like a free pass.
Yeah. I still don't see people that are formal with me and call me hyung and stuff as like 동생.
Yeah.
I don't really see them. It's weird. It's just like, so what, you're below me? But like, I see it as like, okay, you look up to me. I'll never look at them as you're below me, but I'll kind of look at them as like, all right, so what can I do for you type thing, like as a, I guess, older sibling type figure. But I don't know. It's really it's a gray area, I think, for me.
Yeah, because like whenever I see like 동생s, I'm always just like, oh, like, it's like 말 편하게. It's like you can speak comfortably to me.
Yeah,
You can use like 반말 if you want.
Yeah.
Like, you can use informal.
Yeah,
You can speak to me informally if you want.
Yeah, just comfortably.
Yeah, but then a lot of times like they'll be uncomfortable
Yeah.
speaking
Yeah.
informally.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right. I mean, like, well, whatever makes you comfortable,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Part of the Korean culture, I also think, because of that hierarchy, when someone feels like they're lower, they kind of dance around what the point they're trying to get across a lot of the time. So like, say like, I don't like the cup you chose, but we're trying to sell this, right? You chose a pink cup. I like the blue cup. I'll say everything I can without telling you
You don't like the
I don't like the pink cup. I'll just say everything else.
like 블루가 더 뭔가 막
나은 거
Yeah.
같긴 한데.
Yeah.
뭔가 좀
좀 모르겠어요. 그 핑크가 뭔가 좀 Yeah, so it's like they call it 돌려서 말해.
Beating around the
So,
bush.
Yeah, beating around the bush. They beat around the bush a lot out here, but that's also a sign of respect, I think. Just because if you're too forward, it's like,
Right.
yeah, like slow your roll, cowboy.
I don't think this is seen as rude in Korea, but they just don't really do it. But it's like, in America, I feel like just like meet, what's it called? If you like see someone like eye to eye, like you just like kind of like give them like a nod,
or
just, like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
good morning,
Greetings.
like, whatever, something like that. But then in Korea, you're like, oh, it's like, oh, 안녕하세요, and they're like,
Yeah, like, do you
like,
know
you know
me?
me? You know?
Do you know me?
yeah.
I got that like when I first came to Korea. I remember I went to 편의점, and then I held the door open for someone, and they were like, "Oh, have I seen you somewhere before?"
Yeah.
No.
No.
Like, what? And then
Did they ask you why you kept the door open?
no, they was like, "Hmm," and they just walked in. There wasn't
Oh.
even a thank you. There was like, "Oh," and they just walked in. I was like, "You're welcome."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then one time was like at how the malls they have those like the makeup stands like on the first floor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were like walking past, and then I saw someone like at one of the makeup stands.
Yeah.
I met eyes, so I was just going 안녕하세요, and then my friend was like, "How do you know them?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know them." And they were like, "Why'd you say hi?" And I was like, "I met eyes," and they're like, "Oh, you're a really strange kid." I was like, "What? Why?"
I feel like it has a lot to do with space. Like
Personal space?
Yeah. Oh, not really personal space, just the amount of land, like how big the land is. So America is really, really big, right?
Yeah.
You don't the amount of times that you run into someone isn't as frequent as if you would be in Korea, because especially in Gangnam, because you're walking around every day, you're taking public transportation, and you're very near them. And if the public transportation is even more packed, you're like shoulder to shoulder type thing. But like what's crazy to me is if it was like that in the States, we'd all be like, like, oh, like either hi or like, oh, damn, like, like we'd be very expressive of how we're feeling at that time. But in Korea, it's just like, it's just like minding my own business. So it's crazy. You know what I heard? New Zealand, right? I don't know if it's New Zealand or somewhere else. their houses are like 5 minutes apart. So what they do when they take a walk and they run into each other, they have like a 20-minute conversation.
What?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I want like a 20. I'm
But,
okay
like-
with like a hey, what's up? But
Right?
like
That's because
good
we're from
morning.
America.
Uh,
But you guys see how like human interaction is so like yearned for when you're in
And like in New Zealand.
New Zealand. But here it's so close that like we're just like rather you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a space thing almost.
But I mean, I don't know. Like there's that many more people in America too, though. You know, it's like
True, but if you think about it, public transportation out here and then transportation out there, like the amount of miles you have to go in between, it's much less compact, I feel like, depending on
Is it?
what
Oh,
event
wow.
you're at. That's just how I imagine, like, for everyday type stuff.
maybe.
But like I liked it when I came to Korea because people don't make small stuff because I never really got, going to a restaurant or going to a bar and someone starts talking to you just like not in a creepy way but like, oh hey, how's it going? What are you up to? And they start making small talk because I'm really bad at that. Like I'm usually just reacting like, ha ha, I see.
That's the introverted you, huh?
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
like-
I'm like pretending to look on my phone and they'll be like, oh yeah, so what phone do you have? Oh, when did you get that? And I'll be like, oh.
You're the type of
Loving.
people. It's like when the waiter or waitress is like, "Oh, enjoy your meal." You're like, "Yeah, you too."
yeah, that's me.
They walk up like, okay.
Okay.
So I'm really bad at small talk, and in Korea, you really don't have that. Yeah, I feel like maybe the elderly kind of, like making small talk, but I feel like that's because they're a little more lonely. And I don't mind that small conversation because I think it's fun. I think it's funny, and it's entertaining, and I like hearing from them. But then, I don't know, random people coming up to you and like striking up a conversation with you, that gives me anxiety because I'm like, oh my god, please don't make eye contact with me. Please don't say hi to me. I'm just like, please don't.
Really? I thought you were pretty extroverted.
I mean, I am extroverted with my friends, but with strangers, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, she wasn't very open when I first met her either.
Yeah.
We didn't have like a conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah, I
like it.
guess.
But I'm
small
like
talk
that
for
too, though.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
To a certain extent, like if it's small talk trying to be made, I'll respond and I'll like see where it goes. But like,
Yeah.
I'd rather you not.
yeah. I guess.
Dude, and the drinking culture in Korea
Oh,
is
so different.
completely
So
different. There are
different.
so many things you have to learn. And you get bashed on if you don't know the drinking
Yeah.
manners.
Yeah, you have to like look away. You have to get the drink with both hands.
Yeah.
You have to pour with like both hands.
Yup. You have to pour
Um,
for the eldest first.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why
I don't
they
know.
say it's really important who you learn drinking
Yeah.
from because
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
get the basic right.
Yup.
I don't know the basics.
Well, you don't
Shoot.
drink, so you don't even have to know. But
True.
Pour me a drink. I don't know what that is.
you just be like,
I'm like,
and then you'd be like,
Is this
yeah,
Drink.
like pour me a drink. I'm like say
yeah. So when I filmed the wine talk video with Joan,
Yeah.
we're drinking wine together, and I noticed. Well, I didn't notice because it was such a natural thing for me. But I saw comments saying that when we cheers, we both look away and drink, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, that's bad luck in our country. You're supposed to look each other in the
No
eye when you
way.
drink."
What-
Yeah,
what
because
country?
you
I
won't
feel like
find
that's kind of awkward too.
you won't find love or something like if you look away. When you drink, you gotta just like look at them in the eye. So
That
that's
was
very different.
very creepy, but okay.
Yeah, and I didn't
I
even
can see that.
realize. I don't even know why we turn away when we're friends. Like we don't have to turn away technically, right?
Yeah.
You know what I think it is. I don't know for sure, but I feel like it's just alcohol is something that you can't do at a young age, right? It's
Mhm.
something that's considered like you have to be mature.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Is it because alcohol is like somewhat dirty or something? Like, is it like tainting your body? Is that why you? I don't even know. What do you guys think it is? Like,
Why you
why do you
face
think
away?
you have to face away when you drink?
In Korea?
Yeah.
Maybe it's
No,
because of the
because-
face you make afterward.
Aw.
yeah. Yeah, it's like don't make
Don't
faces at
show
your
me that
elders.
face.
So
Look
it's like-
away. Yeah. That makes sense. That can make sense too.
Because you're taking the drink from someone who's higher or older than you. So
Yeah.
you kind of take it and then I don't know.
Yeah, it's like,
to take it
"Ho."
to the side.
Let me take this and hide and drink.
Because it's kind of
I'm
rude to
back.
be like, Oh.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
I
let
have
me
no
look
idea.
it up
I don't
right
know if
now.
there's like a historical.
Maybe
reason
because
for
it's
it.
like glass cups, so they don't want to see like the roof of your mouth.
I don't think so. Hello, lovely Get Real listeners. Before we continue on with this episode, we would like to talk about and thank our sponsor, Honey. Saving money is always better than spending money, but what about saving while spending? Is that contradicting? It makes sense in my head, so stay with me here. Honey is here to help with saving while spending. Honey is a free browser extension that will automatically search the internet for promo codes and apply the best one to your cart while you're shopping online. Honey works with over 30,000 online stores with a wide range, such as stuff in fashion, makeup, food, and tech. Imagine how satisfying it is to look at your shopping cart on a website like Sephora and seeing the total just drop when the coupon gets added. Even though I live pretty close to most stores I need to shop from, I still can have lazy days. So whether I need some skincare stuff or vlogging equipment, it's nice to know that Honey makes it even easier shopping from the comfort of my home. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. I never recommend something I don't use. So get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/getreal. That's joinhoney.com/getreal. But I realized that I noticed that I think people are very polite here, especially like customer service, and when you go to like services, even though they don't get tipped, I feel like majority of them are very polite. Of course, not everyone. Of course, you're gonna run into rude people, but I've had some bad experiences like in the States. Like
with rude people.
Yeah, with like waitresses or like just people, service work people.
That's because New York is crazy. I've never seen anyone mean like that in Cali.
Me neither.
You guys got
Everyone's
some,
chill.
Everyone's chill.
Yeah, and it's very efficient. Like customer service, sometimes in the States you have to wait for hours to get connected with someone, but in Korea that's also very good.
Everything's fast.
And when you go to like a mall, everyone's so polite. Everyone's like, "Oh, 반갑습니다. 안녕하세요." Bowing to you.
I prefer shopping in America over Korea though, because it's like in Korea I feel like they're like all up on you. They're like, "Oh, is there something you're looking for?" Like, they like come up to you.
Did you go to Dongdaemun or something?
Maybe. I don't know. But like, I feel like America is kind of just like, "Oh, is there anything I can help you with?" No, I'm just looking around. It's like, okay, and they just kind of leave you.
Yeah.
I feel like in Korea, like they kind of like, "Oh, check this out. Hey, check this out. Hey, we got to know this." It's like, "Hey, did you know this is 50%?" Like,
yeah.
No, just me. Just
you
me.
should buy it. You should buy this. This is so you. Buy it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a marketing tactic.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
be.
Because
They get in your mentals.
Yeah.
you'll be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna take it," and they'll be like,
Yeah.
"It's one of those."
I love ordering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to be like, "Okay,
저기요."
I'll order." Yeah, be like, "이모," or like,
Yeah.
"저기요, 사장님." I'll say 사장님 most of the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
like,
now they got
boss.
the bells though. It's like thing is like 사장님, 사장님.
What? I've never heard that.
Yeah, the bell says 사장님. You like push it.
What?
사장님, 사장님.
I only heard the ding dong.
Yeah, I've never heard
really?
that one.
You never heard the
either.
사장님 bell?
Yeah, I want to. That sounds funny.
Yeah, but there are some people that just like wait forever for the waitress to come. They're like,
Yeah.
Oh
But
wait, it's
me, I'm just
disrespectful in America to call. Oh shoot.
Usually I just raise my
Yeah.
hand. Like,
yeah, I just quietly raise my hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
student, like waiting to be called on. Just
Yeah.
like,
You know what I heard recently? I was with my producer, who also is a great mix engineer, and we were at a restaurant and it was really loud, right? And then I kept calling for the waiter. I was like, "저기요, 저기요," but the waiter couldn't hear it amongst all the other people that were talking in the restaurant, right? So he goes, "저기요," and then the waiter goes, "Pew!"
and
he just
everyone
looks.
else looks, no?
So what he was telling me was, so if you look at like a wave chart,
Yeah.
say this is a wave chart, right? There's a line right here, right? And this is a wave chart, and this is
Right,
the
right,
middle,
right.
and this is volume, right? The middle frequencies is where everyone's voices is at, right? This is where everyone's you have conversations talking to the right and left. Since this is already high, if you talk in this frequency, they can't hear it.
Because it's the same as everyone
Yeah.
else's.
Yeah.
So he went a frequency lower.
Lower.
It was like, "저기요."
It stands out.
Yeah, and it stood out. They were able to hear it. So tip for anyone who wants to try to get a waiter's attention inside a loud and
So I'm
busy,
gonna be like,
busy restaurant.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Or you could try it low. Try doing it low.
저기요.
Yeah, but louder.
저기요.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
저기요.
That's why 아저씨's always get the attention.
Just
Yeah.
저기요 or
저기요. 저기요.
or just push the bell.
사장님, 사장님.
You sound weird.
That's what it sounds like. It's like tic. It's like 사장님, 사장님.
Oh man.
So 눈치, the word 눈치 is very. I didn't even know there was a word for what it means until I came to Korea. So it's like a mixture of things.
Like sixth sense, like
Yeah.
intuition,
Yep.
Social cues.
social
like-
cues,
common sense. Awareness. I think.
awareness.
Mhm.
There's no like one specific word in
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
For
Like being able
눈치.
to read the room and
Yeah.
stuff. Like leaving the room when you think someone else needs like the space.
Right, right,
Because
right,
you'll
right.
hear it so much. People will be like, 왜 이렇게 눈치 없어? You know? Why
Yeah.
don't you have 눈치? Like you have no 눈치.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
I feel like a very American example would be like your friend needs to go piss, but your teacher, your friend that's other there that you're not really close to keeps talking, and then like you keep leading on the conversation so he can't leave. And then he's just like, oh, I gotta go piss. You know what I mean? But you're not letting him go piss. But he doesn't want to go because he's trying to like keep his manners and keep listening to the conversation, but can't say he needs to go piss. So it's kind of like that. I feel like
Sure.
that's like one really small example of
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
눈치.
yeah.
Yeah.
let's say you're with a couple and the couple's kind of like bickering and
Yeah.
it starts getting a little serious and
Yeah.
they start kind of arguing and a person with no nunchi would keep pouring oil on the fire and like make the fire grow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, you
yeah.
know-
You won't let him talk to you like that. You won't let him talk to you like that.
Yeah, but there are people who seriously do that. Like,
There is.
and
Hey, he
then-
called you a girl. You called you.
you know, and then someone with 눈치 would be like, 아, 왜 그래? 야, 지금 막 기분 좋은데. 막,
Yeah,
그냥
yeah,
놀자.
yeah.
You know,
Smack
they
him
would
one
try
time.
to-
Smack him just one time.
Touch her button. Smack her in the button.
They would try to appease the situation.
Yeah, that or like sometimes when like when your friends trying to get you to like cover up for them,
Mm-hmm.
it's like yeah, like I was with you like last week, remember?
Yeah.
It's like someone with nunchi would be like, yeah, dude, yeah, we were hanging out. And
So it's
someone with no
lying.
nunchi, yeah, it's like
Yes.
no, but
Nunchi
it's like
helps with
the
lies, too.
social, yeah.
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 But then someone with no nunchi, they'll be like, no, we weren't.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like that Kevin Hart thing. You guys
Oh,
remember the Kevin
help me,
Hart?
help me.
Hey, yo, real quick. I'm hungry as shit. He's like, "I'm hungry." So his cue with his friend was, I'm hungry as shit.
Uh-huh.
If he says that, then his wife is next to him listening to it, their conversation on speaker. So he was like, hey, I'm hungry as shit. And he goes, I'm not. And then he's just like, no, hey, woo, woo.
Hey.
And he starts talking about it. And then he was like, I'm hungry as shit. He was like, yeah, hey, real quick. Where was I last week? And his friend was like, with his wife next to him. He's like, man, you was with that fine lady. And then he was just like, no.
I remember that.
No nunchi.
No nunchi. That's no nunchi.
Hmm.
That's hilarious.
I mean, but like the whole nunchi thing comes out in like movies and TV shows too. They don't say nunchi, of course, but it's
Yeah.
like The Office, for example. Like the room will always be so serious, and someone will come in and be like, let's party,
Oh,
you know, and
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
like, read the room, like
Yeah.
read the room.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like there are some people who just are bad at social cues like that.
Hmm.
And then
I
I
think
don't
I'm
know,
pretty
it's-
bad at social cues.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. I'm
Thanks.
bad too. I'm bad too. I'm really bad too.
I think I 눈치 봐 a little too much.
That's also,
Yeah.
that's hard on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not hard on the other people.
Yeah.
That's actually hard on
You
Because
yourself.
know
I'm
what?
always like,
I feel like this is kind of like a growing up in Korea and growing up in America kind of thing too. Because
Yeah.
it's like growing up in America, it's like you don't really care what other people think about you too much.
Yeah.
Like even like dressing up, if you look at like American like high schoolers dressing up, they're just like they're in like sweats and like whatever.
Yeah.
And then
we still wear school uniforms here. Right?
yeah, they
Oh,
wear like
yeah,
school
they
uniforms.
do.
But no, but like if you see them like going out,
Oh.
like they're just hanging out at the mall with their friends or something. Like American high school kids will be in like sweats and stuff. But
Yeah,
then
and like slippers.
yeah, but then in Korea, like they're all like dressed up and everything. And I feel like that's part of like 눈치 buying like other people's like how other people view
You,
them.
yeah.
Mhm.
they're kind of like just grown into like the overall like general society is kind of like it makes you very aware of how other people think about you.
Yeah, how they perceive you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
So
probably why you
that's
눈치 봐 a lot.
And that's probably why people in general, just the 눈치 buying, like the standard of it is so high.
And that's gonna cause a lot of stress.
It does. It
Yep.
does. It's much more comfortable not 눈치 buying.
For
But
sure.
some people even have it naturally, like they don't need to 눈치 봐, but they like catch the cues. Like, they just have 눈치. Wait, that's just having 눈치. Never mind.
I remember when I first moved to New York and I got invited to my first non-Korean friend's house ever.
How was that?
I was so shocked because I just walked all over the house with my shoes on.
You're so disrespectful.
And it was like
Same.
carpet. And I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I don't have to take my shoes off. And they were like, oh, no, it's fine. And we were just like running around everywhere in our dirty shoes.
And they like jump on their bed too.
Yeah, and I was
I was
like,
like,
I remember going home that day. I was like, 엄마, 아빠, 아니, 집 안에 신발을 신고 들어가, you know? And they were just like, 어머머머머.
Oh, your mom's probably thinking, who cleans?
Yeah. So that was like culture shock.
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah.
And then like even like when my friends came, I'm like, hey, whoa, no shoes in the house.
Yeah.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
They're like all confused, like what?
Yeah.
So that's definitely different for sure.
Do you think it's normal for someone to come over your house and just like touch stuff and just like sit and lay everywhere?
No.
Why is that what you do?
No. I'm just like sitting there mad awkwardly, but
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to feel like uncomfortable, but like if they're just like,
There's limits.
I'm hungry, like it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, because there are some people who make themselves feel very at home, like
Yeah.
you know, at their first time
A
going.
little bit too much sometimes.
yeah, there's like it's like 눈치 같아. You know? Yeah.
I'll tell. We'll get there. We're not there right now though.
yeah.
Sit down on the couch. I'll bring you the drinks. Okay, chill.
Yeah.
Or if they come over and like right away they're like, hey, you got some comfortable clothes? It's like, yeah, can I get some? It's like, you knew you were coming over. It's like, what the?
But I do that with my close friends all the time.
No, yeah,
Oh, like
close
bar
friends,
clothes?
close friends, yeah.
Close
But
friends
it's
is
like
okay.
Yeah.
not too long ago actually, like my friend came over
Mhm.
and then they were like, oh, do you mind if my friend comes over? I was like, no, I don't care.
They invited their friend.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, no, I mean, but they asked me, so I didn't care. But I was like, no, I don't care. I was like, where are they coming from? I was like, oh, they're coming from their house. I was like, all right. And they come over and they're like, hey, you got some comfortable clothes I could switch into? I was like, you just came from your house. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, didn't you just come from your house? They're like, yeah. And I was like,
They don't want.
why didn't you wear?
clothes
I was
at
like,
your
why
house?
didn't you just bring like come in comfortable clothes? They're like, I was like, oh, I had to take the bus, so I didn't. I was like,
What?
You should have worn
Okay.
comfortable clothes for the bus first
Yeah.
and foremost.
so I was like, okay. I was like,
Did you give him clothes?
Yes. I was like, I'll give you shorts, but that's it. It's like, not a shirt, but shorts.
Sorry for the interruption, but we've got to say thank you to our sponsor, Daily Harvest. Now, you guys may have seen me do a lot of cooking on my vlogs and know that I really do love making food for myself and trying out new recipes. But at the same time, I feel like I'm busier than ever. I'm constantly running around to different shoots like radio or recording more Get Real episodes for you guys. I mean, good problems. So if you're like me and want to make sure you have something to eat on the go without too much time spent on prepping it, Daily Harvest may be the lifestyle change for you. Daily Harvest delivers delicious food, all built on organic fruits, vegetables, right to your door. It takes minutes to prepare and you'll feel rest assured that the food is good for the body. Daily Harvest is ready when you are. Everything stays fresh in your freezer until you're ready to enjoy it, so you waste less food too. And there's no need to overthink any of your meals for the week with Daily Harvest. There's tons of options like smoothies for breakfast, flatbreads for lunch or dinner, and even food that matches the weather. Like if it's too cold outside, you can have your choice of warm soups. Daily Harvest never uses preservatives, added sugar, or anything artificial. Even their recently launched almond milk, which is made of only almonds and a dash of sea salt, that's it. This is super convenient if you need to be always stocked up on food and too busy for that grocery store trip. Daily Harvest is also committed to minimizing their environmental impact during the process of transitioning to 100% compostable, recyclable, plant-based, and renewable fiber packaging. Daily Harvest is undeniably delicious, clean food without the prep. Get started today. Go to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code GETREAL to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code GETREAL for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. dailyharvest.com. I'm kind of curious about you guys though, because you guys have been to a lot of different countries for like tours and concerts and stuff. So was there ever a time you went to a different country and you're like, oh, you didn't know like they had this manner or like you had to act this way or
I think the biggest thing as far as South America goes, let me think. They didn't really tell us anything about what is like really frowned upon. Maybe there's not too many out there. I'm trying to think. This means f you somewhere. Like, you know how this is okay for us?
Yeah.
This also meant hole at one point.
It did. It was ASS hole.
Yeah.
ASS
wow.
hole.
Yeah. But in another country, I forget where this means f you.
No, I think
Like-
I think it was like
You.
I think it was like it's like, hey. And then the American was like, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
It's like-
Oh, it was the Russell Peters thing also. There was a Russell Peters one. This means in French, do you want to eat? But in Indian, it means what the
no, isn't it the other way around?
Oh, is it what the in French?
Or no, was that right?
Yeah, French.
Oh, French, this is eat.
Oh, you want to eat?
And then, okay, and where is it?
The Russell Peters was like, hey, don't curse at the table.
No, there was a thing in I think it was Iraq, like during the war. There was like a picture that was taken, and then it was like a bunch of like U.S. Army like tanks.
Yeah,
And then there's a bunch of like, it might not be Iraq. I don't, somewhere in the Middle East.
yeah,
And then there was like a bunch of like the Middle East soldiers. They were like running behind the tanks with their thumbs up.
yeah.
And then like America thought it was like the soldiers were saying like good job. So they
Yeah.
like, I remember like came out on news. They were like, oh, like opposing soldiers like support the U.S. Army or something like that.
Yeah.
But this means like pretty much like F you. I think it was this. I don't remember what the
Dang.
exact hand gesture was.
Crazy how in one place this could mean one thing and then this could mean another.
And this too in like Europe, right? It's like up yours. Is it Europe or where is this? Like England?
This?
Something like that. Yeah. So it's like take a picture. It's like all right. It's like what?
Yeah. I love people with good manners though.
It's always good to.
Yeah.
It's always good
Would-
to have good manners.
Would you guys say you guys have good manners?
Yeah.
Decent. Why?
I mean-
what's wrong with that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think manner is also like, let's say, I guess courtesy, but let's say someone has like something stuck in their teeth or whatever. There will be some people who point that out like in front of everyone. Like, let's say Matthew has something stuck in his teeth right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Peniel. Be like, yo, you got something stuck in your teeth. Yo, you got some gochugaru stuck in your teeth. What the hell?
Why?
Like, and that
Honestly,
person
what the
feels,
hell? I'm like, what the heck?
that person feels so like 쪽팔려 in that moment, right?
Yeah.
No, because I know Peniel does. You got something stuck in your teeth. You know?
I'm like, hey, you got something.
Yeah.
You got a little something right there.
Yeah.
No, little to the right. Okay, you got it. You got it. Okay,
Hey,
okay.
everyone, she got it. You got it.
I don't blurt it out like super loud though. I'm just like, hey, you got something on your to the left. To the left. No, too far. Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
You should be like, hey, and then you should just like give them a mirror.
Well, and then
No,
they were
no,
like,
like-
oh. I'm like, no. Look at your teeth.
No, because I really appreciate it when someone's like, you have something stuck in your teeth. And then, like, I'll like go to
Yeah,
the
well,
bathroom and check by myself.
Mm.
You
but
should have
some
checked
people-
better in the first place.
Some people don't say anything at all. So you go to the bathroom after a long night out and you realize that you have like seaweed stuck in your teeth and you're
Oh,
just like,
no.
holy. Or you have lipstick all over your teeth.
That's
That's
the
like
worst.
really embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh, that's why
worst.
in the beginning when we had like our fan sign events, I always like, contemplated. I was like, do I have to tell them or no?
Tell them what?
Like, because they'd be like smiling and they'd have like the lip like tint like on their teeth.
Oh, yeah. I see that a lot in
No.
girls.
So I'm like, shoot, do I tell them or not? Like,
you know what I
but
do
then
to
I'm
my
like,
members?
But then I'm like, I don't want them having like, being embarrassed for the next like 3 or 4 members after me.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You tell
Yeah.
them?
I'm like, 좀 묻었어요.
No.
They're like, oh. but then they don't have to do that for the next like few members, you know.
True,
So I'm
true,
just
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
I see Somin and Chiu. Whenever they have that, I just go,
And then they know.
yeah.
Yeah.
they think you're flirting. They think you're like,
They're like, Oppa, what do you mean? And then they'll be,
Yeah. Yeah, we have like our own code too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, what's your guys' code?
With my members, no, we just know. We'll just be like, no, our eyes get big. We're like, and then they instantly know, like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
we're
okay.
just like, there's nothing else
Yeah.
that we're pointing at. So
I think it's better to tell them as soon as possible so that they don't have to, like
yeah.
continue.
yeah.
That's why I'm just like, hey, you got some, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. I'll be like, they'll be like, ugh. Like, ugh. All right, guys. We have some people having questions related to our topic on Reddit. Let's see if we can offer any insight.
All right.
Yes. Yao Casina Dree. Yao Casina Dree. I don't know if I said that right, but user Yao Casina Dree says, "Hi Ashley, BM and Peniel. I'm just your average female, but I want to get advice on how to politely ask men to leave you alone. To be honest, I think that's all we have to read. Hey, you just tell him to..."
Get the up.
I'll read the rest. To be honest, I think there's a fine line between how women play hard to get versus them just feeling uncomfortable around men. What are your thoughts? Do you think persistently courting a girl is right? When does it become wrong? From Adriel. Just in case you guys have no idea how to pronounce my name. I got it right the first time.
Adriel.
Yeah.
Adriel. Oh, Adriel.
Adriel. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like be like to the point, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you don't like it, tell him, "Hey, I feel like this is disrespectful. I want you to stop."
Yeah, when you're rejecting someone, I think you gotta be a little cutthroat.
Yeah. If it's like one of those like catcalling type moments, then you gotta be strong and you gotta be strong. But if it's like, a friend that's trying to, why would you want a friend to leave you alone though? I think it's different. Yeah, I think she's talking more
mean,
about like catcalling, right?
They might just be like, they might want their alone time or something. You got a little eyelash right there, by the way. Other side.
Am I good?
Other side. Yeah, you good now.
Where'd it go?
Wait, hold on. Look at me.
Is it still there?
No, it's gone. It's gone, right?
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,
It's gone.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's just like someone. I don't think it's like catcalling, but I think the Adriel is just not interested, but they keep courting and like pursuing, right? I think that's the.
hearing this is like triggering because it's scary sometimes. Because
Yeah.
even if you turn them down politely, there'll be some people who be like, "Well, I wasn't interested anyways. Like you're ugly anyways. Like go f yourself." Like they'll get angry and they'll be bitter and they'll say something back, and that's like, I guess. That's not
They're
that
just a
bad because
sore
there will be
loser.
some people who will
Actually harass you.
actually harass you or even like physically hurt you. So
Yeah.
I think that's always like in the back of any girl's mind because you're just like, oh my god, what do I say to
Right.
just get him leave me alone nicely?
Yeah.
Because you never know what type of person that other person is. Like
Right.
you don't know if you're you don't know if you're encountering a psychopath. You don't know if you're encountering
Yeah.
a nice person. So
That's
it's
why I
like,
always advise to like, if you go into a function or like an event where men are open to do that to you and you don't like it, go with a dude.
I mean, I don't know. Guys shouldn't be acting that way in the first place.
If you trying to get a girl because you're interested, be polite. Don't do that catcalling. That's like,
Yeah, and if they're not interested in you, just f***ing move on.
yeah.
God damn.
Don't be a little.
No. My friend actually came up to me recently
Uh-huh.
because I mean the person wasn't really like harassing them or anything, but they didn't want to get introduced to this one person, right? But then her friend was like, oh, just like, just as a friend, like nothing serious. It's like, no. But then it was obvious that the guy was interested.
Yeah.
But they were just like, oh, just get her as a friend, like, blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, oh, whatever, fine. Like, I'll get introduced as a friend. And
Yeah.
then the guy keeps contacting my friend.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even respond, but he'll be like, like, oh, good morning. Like, did you wake up? Like, how are you doing today? Oh, you must be busy. Like, blah, blah. Like, she doesn't even respond, but he keeps texting. And then he even like texted the person that he got the soge through.
Yeah.
Like, hey, when's like the last time you talked to this person? Like, like they're not responding to me. I'm just like, what the
Yeah, like take the advice and just
like there's a word for that in Korea and it's called jinta. You know?
Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah, it's like some that's some like loser.
That's what it means.
Yeah, it's loser.
It's loser
attitude. But
I usually just say I have a boyfriend if I'm not interested. You know, if
yeah, I
someone
feel
comes
like
up to me,
that works.
and most of the times they'll just be like, "Oh, okay," like, "Oh, I understand." But yeah, if you just say that, I think that's enough for them to be like, "Okay," and back off.
Yeah.
And if that person doesn't, it's not on you. It's just them. I don't.
They're
even
being
know
sore
what they-
losers. They're being sore.
Yeah.
They don't know how to take rejection. It's like a
pride thing, maybe.
yeah, like
almost.
a pride problem or something. I don't know.
You know what's crazy? I was at a party one time and there was this one old dude that came. I don't mean old as in like really old, like, you know, like grandpa age old, but a little bit older than me. I want to say like
maybe
5-6 years.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't young.
40s?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I think maybe
Maybe, like,
late 30s,
late 30s,
mid
okay.
late 30s.
Okay.
He was a little bit older. And the way he was trying to get at girls at that party, like everyone was having a good time. Everyone was a little bit tipsy. It was a birthday party. Most people knew who each other was. But there was one dude who came who didn't know everybody. And then he was trying to get at every damn girl that was there.
Oh, yo.
But it got to the point when he got to his fourth one after being rejected, he was like, just like, he wouldn't let her go. Like, it was just like,
yeah. They
holding him-
start getting like aggressive.
Yeah,
They
and
start
then-
getting touchy.
the girl was just like, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? Like, but she was kind of like still trying to be polite, like, no, I don't like this.
Yeah.
So I had to go to her and be like, hey, I told her, I was like, hey, I need to talk to her. Let me go talk to her outside. I took her outside. Before I did, I told her, you need to go. She was drunk too. So it was
okay.
You need to go.
I don't think we should be giving advice to Adriel or
Yeah.
like girls.
Yeah.
I think it should be
Yeah.
more to like guys for them to know, no means no.
100%.
And to be able to
For
take
sure.
no as an answer
Uh,
and just back off and walk away when we say
100%.
no. And
Hey.
yeah.
Be respectful. Be a gentleman. Nothing's
Yeah.
more sexier than being a gentleman.
Facts.
We have a question from Lego My Ego. Lego My
Mego.
Mego. I see what you did there. Hi, my name is Megan. This is a question for the Get Real fam. Okay, so my best friend from childhood is getting married and she's
Ooh.
been talking to me a lot about the wedding almost every day. However, she hasn't asked me to be in the wedding party. I don't want to be presumptuous and just assume that I'll be in it because we've been living in separate cities for over 10 years now. But we still stayed as close as we can and try to see each other whenever we can. I understand that she has closer friends who actually live in the same vicinity as her and get 100% and 100% get it if she asked them. Even though in my head I'm fine with this, I'm still a little heartbroken because this is something we always talked about. Then again, we were kids and I know I shouldn't hold out hope for something we talked about so long ago. I definitely do not want to ask her because I don't want to cause any drama or add any extra stress or pressure on the bride-to-be. I feel like that's a rude thing to ask, so I'm waiting for her to bring it up. But is it wrong that I feel upset about this, even though I know we're not as close as we used to be? What should I do? Thank you in advance. P.S. I love you guys and you're my favorite podcast. Yes, we are.
you.
That's because we're the best podcast in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
In the world. Best podcast. Going back to the question.
No, I don't think it's wrong to feel upset. You know, it's something that you could definitely feel upset about.
Yo.
'Cause especially if it's like a childhood best friend, you're still keeping in touch with them, trying to see them as much as possible.
Yeah.
But I feel like in their question, they already know the answer
Yeah.
of what they have to do. You know, they were like, then again, we were kids, and like, you know, I feel like they already kind of understand the situation. But, yeah, I feel like you already know what you got to do.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just kind of, if she asks, she asks. She doesn't.
It doesn't.
Oh well, you know. But I don't know. That's just what I
Yeah.
think.
I'm
I
sure
don't know.
though that no matter what happens, it doesn't take from the fact that you guys were and are great friends because of a long childhood spent together, and I'm sure
Yeah.
she's gonna cherish that. Like nothing can take away from that. I feel like whoever she's talking about bride's part or the wedding party, right? So she might not be invited to the wedding party. Is that different from the actual wedding? Yeah, right. What is the after party?
I don't know. Maybe it's
Like
like
the wedding
bridesmaids
party?
party. I don't know.
Bridesmaids party?
I don't know.
Yeah, so
We
like
haven't been to
best,
many
like the
weddings.
best girl, best man, best woman, best man. What do you call it? Oh,
Bridesmaids
bridesmaid, best man, and then like the
best man.
We got a
I don't
long
know.
way to go, Peniel.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
learning new
lost.
stuff right now.
I don't know about
Yeah, I
weddings.
don't know anything. I feel like 10 years ago, if it was 10 years ago, I think that is a lot of time to build a big network, not only a network, but relationships with newer people too.
Right. Especially if they're far apart in different cities.
Yeah.
And she says she's not as close as they used to be.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's still, you still have, I would be not upset at the bridesmaid, but I would feel like, oh man, we used to be so close. You know, I would feel that.
Like
Yeah, me
nostalgia.
too.
Yeah. Just like, oh man, you know, even if we kept in contact a little bit more, I probably would have been one of the bridesmaids too.
Right.
Or best man or grooms in
Yeah.
my case. So
Yeah.
Would you guys ask?
No, because
Shoot,
I mean,
no,
I feel
no.
like they already know the answer. Even if you ask, it's like, even though in my head I'm fine with this, I still feel a little heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because it's something we always talked about. Then again, we were kids. It's like they knew. She knows that it was like, oh, it's just we talked about it when we were kids.
Yeah.
And then now it's reality.
I feel like my thing is if you feel any discomfort at all, even just like 2 or 3% asking her if you're gonna be there, then just that already answers it. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, and I'm sure there's like probably like restrictions for like how many people too, right? Because of COVID right now. Just use that as an excuse in your head. If it wasn't for COVID, I'd be right there.
Yeah.
I think you already know the answer. It's natural to feel upset about this because it's like a childhood friend.
Yep.
You get nostalgic and everything.
Yep.
So it's natural. It's not weird that you're upset about it. But what should I do? I think you already know what to do. You just it's like if you get asked, then you get asked. If you don't, you don't. That's life. Reality. Adulting. In your face. Pah.
Yeah, hopefully we had some good advice for you guys. If you haven't learned a little bit on manners and etiquette,
watch The Kingsman. Madness Maketh. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe you guys could have gotten some enlightenment from this episode.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have. I'm just talking about it amongst ourselves.
Or tell us about like your manners or like your etiquettes that your family has or like your country has or
in
what
the comments. Yeah.
Comment below.
Yeah.
We want to know.
For sure.
Please tell us, just so maybe if we hit your city, we'll be prepared. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's show. If you wish to stay updated on this show, we got IG and Twitter at The Dive Studios. Full episodes on youtube.com/divepods. Before we end, do you guys want to shout out anything you guys are up to these days?
I'm just doing Kingdom.
Check out Kingdom.
Yeah.
Check out Kingdom.
Check out Kingdom.
Peniel's team, B2B, is killing it. Please watch it and support. Vote for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I got my solo stuff coming out soon.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. And once again, follow, review this podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Should we do like a 90-degree bow since we're doing manners? No.
Hey, did you like this video? If so, click the subscribe button.
And make sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video.
And listen to the entire audio episode on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.